Hello, everybody. Greeks from Brussels. I was asked to make a short introduction on the EU policy for athletes. So I come in via here, the EU. I wrote part of the EU guidelines on dual career management and transition management of athletes with some top sport universities and some Olympic committees. And here you see I'm going to use the landing page, of course, of the European Commission. And here you see already something bizarre. You see EU policy on sports. And here you see, actually, if you dive into it, you actually see, voila, EU guidelines on dual careers of athletes. So they are talking about athletes, and that is more correct. But of course, everything, it's a compromise, you know. If you talk about athletes, research showed that most people think, that's just for people who run the 100 meters and who are throwing discuses and spears through the air. And so, they said, okay, then we'll call it EU sport policy, but it's misleading. It's really dual career management. I'm going to take you here. It's EU policy for athletes. Of course, athletes from sport, but also the dancers, the acrobats. It's everybody who needs their body in a good athletic shape for their job. So also the special intervention teams from the military, the police, the firefighters, the medics, and the life rescue swimmers. I'll just work off this one. So it's the athletes who kick off the year again after New Year, Christmas, during the Erasmus Plus Sport Cluster meeting. That looks like this. Then we, the top people who have something smart to say, the top sport universities and so forth, they come together with the European Commission. You see here, we are really in work sessions here talking to the Commission. It's really an open dialogue. We meet old friends. Here we split up in groups on tables, and then this is a technique how they inventorize what are the new developments, what are the needs, where are the gaps, what are the bottlenecks, what works, what doesn't work. I'm here. We are the three main people who are into brain hacking and technologies and athletes and so forth. I'm coming in via cognitive sciences and neurosciences. Let me just quickly. I'm also a world record holder, circumnavigating the planet with Team Earth Race. This is our boat. It works on biodiesel. It's still considered one of the most inspiring and powerful carbon neutral projects in the world. It's a mix between a catamaran, a trimaran. We have submarine capacity. We can go 30 meters under the sea level, and we also use, like dolphins, the energy of the waves to jump to the next wave, and that's also how we cut in distance, because our competitors, they jumped up the waves and then down the waves and up. If you do that all around the planet, then you double the distance actually. So that was also a strategic way, a smart way to just strategically cut the distance. So a trimaran, submarine power racer, voila, that's it. Enough about me. And for the rest, I'm into, you see, I'm really into technology. I'm a biochemical engineer, cognitive sciences, neurosciences. We're into brain hacking. We made an app, for example, that allows people to accelerate learning. It's an e-flash card on your phone. Voila, here. Okay. It's this app here, and it's with electronic flashcards. Anyway, blah blah. But it allows athletes to. It makes learning portable, and it can predict. We as neuroscientists, we know. There is research on how the brain works and how we memorize things and how fast we forget things, and then we can predict via the forgetting curve when somebody's brain is going to forget something, and by showing that or doing that exercise again for making trainings more efficient, we just show and do the training exactly 1 or 2 days before the brain would forget it. and that way you the brain gets a very strong signal to network this more, and you memorize in half of the time. And so for parents, for example, that this is really dual career management. This is really this slide here, this one here. Many parents, they are. It's always a difficult decision. Should I let my my son or daughter who is really good in something, in an athletic activity, sport, dance, circus, should I let them continue or not, because maybe their education is not so good? You say no, it's about the whole EU policy is about lifelong learning, and the more they can follow their passion, the faster you learn. So you're always on the optimum of learning, and there is enough evolution going on with learning over the internet and small workshops, and then with our app you can learn in half of the time, so very quickly. With all the innovations that are coming to us, we now have AI, you can learn exactly what you need when you need it, actually. So we're much more going to that kind of a system with certificates, certifying that you now all of a sudden you know something, but you can really bring together the very specific elements and cook your own unique mix out of that. So that's what we are working on. What else do we see? Here is this forgetting curve, for example. And then the European Commission here, voila, they explain then that is the Sport Info Day. That's always in April. And then they show what are the objectives: grassroots sports, promoting physical activity, healthy lifestyle, education, training, and skills in and through sports. Promoting social inclusion and equality, promoting European common values, integrity and good governance in sport, that kind of things, for example. And then you have to make teams. Voila, here, this is how the Sport Info Day looks like. Again, 400 or 500 people. But you can follow everything online. You don't have to be in Brussels. The moment that you get the heck of it, you can follow everything online. You have to make consortia and then fill out the programs. I think this here I can do away with that. That's about capitalizing the social capital of athletes, because we saw that many athletes they go and work. Most athletes can't live from their prize money, so they have to do a double career. But what our research found out is that they go and work in a supermarket or in a pub or something, and that's way below their capacities. They should actually try to find something where they can also capitalize the fact that their social capital, because you are all very known and appreciated in your communities, but people don't know that you also need a day job and that you need to make money. But if you would ask if they can buy stuff from you, for example, they will gladly do so, but they just don't know. So that's what we are working about. Of course, the whole EU policy is also embedded in the level above us, the United Nations level, with the 17 global goals, and here the United Nations observances. I hope you know about that. We have international days, years, decades, anniversaries. So now it's the international decade of everything that is oceans, for example. And let's go and have a look at the international days and weeks. And then you go here, and then you have the full calendar, and then you go to sport. And you see here, April 6th, International Day of Sport for Development, but not just sport for the sports. No. Sport in Europe as well. Not just sport for the sports. No. Sport for development and peace. And then you can, and then I have something else. What is that? Wait, there's one. Control F, sport. So that's transport. No, that's nothing to do with us. Voilà. Hey, happy. So sport, the other sport, please. Sport, International Day, Sport and Development, then you have these kind of things. So then we really make a thunderclap, a whole wave worldwide, and voila, here the sustainable, and you saw sport, and then voila, here everything, blah blah, just read it, Voila, sport for sustainable development goals. Voila, and then we go here to the United Nations. I think I can close this one. The United Nations. Voila, here you see us. That's voila here. This is me. I'm yeah, water sports with my world record around the planet. Voila, we have here the UN decade, the ocean decade. And we are in the World Sailing Federation, for example, we are implementing now a technical manual to make sailing more sustainable. And if that's not implemented in your club, then you are at risk of being disqualified. So you really have to have also in your training on sustainability. And then here here you see it, International Day of Sport for Development and Peace. What else do we have? Yeah, here you see us in Bonn. That's very close from Brussels. That's just 120 kilometers. Voila, a very smart place. That was the former capital of Western Germany, but you know, all these buildings, they are from governments. They are typically circular. Yeah, here you have, for example, the United Nations, and it was donated to the United Nations organizations because the real estate developers, they couldn't do anything with all these circular buildings. Here you see that. Voila, and then sloped shape. So they said no, we can't. Then we have to tear the whole building down. It's too costly. We're not really interested. So they gave it to the United Nations, and you see it's a very smart place, very beautiful next to the Rhine. The other side you have voila here on the hills, the wine growing, and then if you want to do things outside, voila, you have the whole park here. And if you want to do things inside, there is a whole expo center here where you can do these things. Voila, and then we are talking about voila, everybody comes together who is working on global goals, and of course furthering the global goals with sport. And then you see us voila here doing sports, and then also voila here sport and sustainability, and also Paralympics and everything. So that's and the use of athletes from sport, from dance, acrobats, because they transfer values. Can't do this one here away. And then let's dive into everything that's funding opportunities, because Europe is about money, 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 and organization and making us smarter. So you have a whole EU sports program, you have pilot projects and preparatory actions, funding for those two. And yeah, we come in via the European Agency for Education and Culture. You remember that also in ancient times, athletes, we were part of arts, the arts, the physical arts, next to painting and poetry and so forth, and still are athletic athletes, dancers, and then gymnastics, for example, very European. Voila, get fit, believe, and so forth, the role in education. And then we have every year, last week of September, we have the European Week of Sport, and we make a whole wave again. So we have a wave and a thunderclap on the April the 6th in the World Sports Day, but also a second one in the European Week of Sports and Athletes and Be Active and Healthy Living and so forth. Here is the EU Sport Forum. You have to register there, then you can discuss and find other groups to work out plans and introduce projects. Healthy Lifestyle for All, the Be Active Awards, European Week of Sports, the pilot projects, Be Inclusive, everything to combat inappropriate behavior. What more do we have here? Yeah, there is consultations, so they want to have feedback from you. Awards again. Here, 5 June, Sport and Innovation Summit. Linking innovators, everything is technology and so forth. New website provides relevant research and information on the fight against doping. It's a big topic. Sport and Innovation Summit. And then we have, sorry, to click this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. The sport forum again, Be Inclusive Sport Awards, Sport Forum, okay, Meet to Be Inclusive Awards, we saw that again already, here Sport Actions 2000, closes with a record of 1,500 consortia proposals who entered for EU funding. But you see here, 26 July 2023, call for pilot projects and preparatory actions is now open. So let's go and have a look there. And the deadline is 17 October. Oh, yeah, that's tomorrow. Sorry. But there is continuously things going on, and there is new headlines. So apparently now what was identified as a big topic, sport for people and planet, an approach on sustainability through sport in Europe, and then sport supports emergency sport actions for youth. The category claims to create sport immersion programs in the context of humanitarian crisis to help overcoming traumas, adapting to new environments and creating bonds with hosting communities, support children, youth, and voila, 3.5 million euros, and so forth. So there's always things going on, so we have to go and have a look here. I think we've covered that part then as well. And then here, Yves Le Costek, he's so we have many. We have quite some top athletes working as parliamentarians, as commissioners, or in the commission, so as public servants. And for example, here, Yves Le Costek, he was. Do I have his picture? Then I have to go to photos, okay, and then I have to go to sport. Erasmus Clusters meeting, that's good. And then we go here, and where is he? Yves Le Costek, a little bit lower. Where is he? Here, voila, that's Yves Le Costek. See, here. And he's a former, he's biathlon, he's from Scandinavia. So that's Langlaufen and shooting. So we have a circle of top athletes, with our go-get mentality. We also reach goals. We have ministers also who have reached, who were former top athletes. Voila. Here, this is the database. So if you want to find out who are the specialists, what has been done or not yet been done in everything that is sport and athletes, then you go to this website. You just do Europa Sports Projects, and then you will end up on this website. And then, for example, I'm working now on everything that is, I'm a cognitive scientist, neuroscientist, so I'm working on everything that is the new DG Health and long COVID syndrome, and there is of course the big, we use athletes from dance, from sport, and so forth, because then the contrast is very big. They were top athletes, jumping high and so forth, dancing, and then all of a sudden they are affected by these by COVID, and they have long COVID syndrome. That's destroying neurons in the brain by reactivating herpes virus, and also in the stomach, in the gut, these enteroviruses that go wild and destroy the good bacteria. So you can eat whatever you want, but these patients simply don't extract the vitamins and the minerals anymore to restore their neurons in the brain, the arms, and the muscles. So we have to push it through the skin. That's where the medical spas actually come in. Do you know what that is, medical spas? Let me just quickly show that then to you. European spas.eu, Congress. I'm going to go, maybe Congress. So I gave a workshop there. Voila. Medical spas. I'm going to do I'm going to do it like this. Copy. Google advanced image search. Voila, here. Go here. Come on, up, and now we do hop, 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 hop. Click, and then we do images. Voila, this is what medical spas look like. That's voila, here with the mud, for example, in these mud baths. Wait, I did something wrong. I just want all the pictures. Voila. So this is, you see, yeah, they are medical revalidation resorts who are so beautiful that during the holiday season people even want to come there for hashtag regenerative tourism, hashtag transformative tourism experiences, and then in the low season or during the week they transform into medical revalidation centers where athletes come to regenerate, but we have a huge backlash towards, for example, the Americans here. Yeah, they're built around where there is hot mud bubbling up, hot oils, hot sparkling waters bubbling up, and but here in Europe we have a huge backlash towards the compared to the Americans, for example. In regenerating our bodies. It's very strange that in the 240 regions in Europe where we live in, that we don't have in every region a place where on Monday all the athletes come to regenerate their bodies, on Tuesday all the police and the firefighters and so forth, and then on Wednesday all the dancers and so forth. We don't have that, but all these soccer players, for example, and especially the special forces from the military, the firefighters, the medics. You don't have a lot of them, and their trainings cost really a lot. So if you can prolong their active life and keep their bodies in a good shape, that's really bringing a lot of value to society. Yeah? So very bizarre that we don't have that. So I'm working with that on this together with where can I show this? Photos. No. I'm going to go presentation. Wait here. Presentation. Black mud, yeah, black mud here. Voila. Voila. Here you go, be active. Do I have to, okay, and then here my athletes. Oops. Up. Where's Checo? Checo, where are you? Voila, here. No. Checo, where are you? Here. View, slideshow, voila. So this is the lady who created this black mud, and we're working with Checo, former top basketball player from Slovakia. He played in the USA, and he of course understands, and he has seen how in the USA there is much more attention to regenerating and recuperation of the body. And so we are using him and the medical spas to teach about that. So that's, for example, a project that we are going to enter in the EU Federation of the Erasmus Plus Sport funding call, for example. And of course here all the powerful ladies. I help to get women in touch with those ladies. Miss von der Leyen, of course, she's the president of the commission. She has 7 children. She's a PhD. She's a medical doctor in epidemiology. Her husband also has a PhD and in medical sciences. And they have 7 children, and they like horseback riding in the forest, for example. And then here also all women who are either commissioners, so they are the boss of a director general, but they have to be re-elected every 6 years. You also have women who are the boss of the public servants, and they run a director general. And she's, for example, she's running the director general for everything that is sport, for example. She's from Bulgaria. Voila. So they are really very powerful women. Voilà. I help people to get in touch with them. You feel that they bring another another dynamic. So here we are again in the Erasmus Plus, all the consortia that received money. So let's put in sport and medicine, for example. Okay, I have only three projects who have been working on that. Physical activity as tool of student education and enhancement from 2020 to 22. Innovative curricula, tralala, and those Poland. Always have to form a group, a consortium. So we're still making the European citizens, and we want to break through all these national language barriers and so forth. And Project 2, what is this? Vendzelavik, the primary school, Okna, small village school, blah blah blah, and developing I don't know what, quality improvement institutions, health and well-being, okay, climate change. Every day of sport from 2016 to 2017. It's already a long time ago. So let's have a look at these ones, for example. Project details. So they were all about physical activity as a tool of students' education enhancement. They received 160,000 euros, for example, to work for 2 years on this thing, and blah 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 and blah blah. They did this. Voila, we can close this one. And then sport and European values. Yeah, of course. So we need athletes and to convey these European values, of course. Very inspiring, and that's why we also have a dual career management. If you cannot live from your prize money alone, we help you with finding a sensible additional dual revenue. And also, if you have to transition, we help you transition to the next phase of your life and really capitalize all your qualities as an athlete. Voila, so this is what we're fighting against. There is a lot of money to deal with match fixing, doping, violence in sport, discrimination, social exclusion, and we want this, good governance, human rights, equality. So if we as athletes can help with that, that's why we get money. Voila, that's a little bit that. Yeah, and here, so I created an organization, a spin out actually, that came out of our EU funding. We got about 360,000 euros to work on that with these top sport universities and Olympic committees and Sport for All organization. So we were really on capitalizing on the social capital of Europe. We also have a social economy plan, so we merged these two policies, policy for athletes and economy, social economy together actually. And I think maybe via the photos we can quickly go over it. Here, this is an example. She's Jessica. She's a former top dancer, but she got fibromyalgia and long COVID, and so I managed to heal her. We are now training her into ergotherapy, dancing, to help all these long COVID patients who have neural damage in the brain to regrow neurons via very slow moving Tai Chi kind of Qigong kind of therapy, 3 weeks, and then we can regrow these neural networks. This one here, Erasmus Plus, implementing the EU policy of management of dual career management and transition management specifically for dancers. And that is still something that is to be done. The dancers don't know that this policy is also for them. Here, we work with the UNESCO Silk Roads program. To remind people that already for more than 6,000 years, people all over the Silk Roads have been exchanging goods and knowledge and insights. And we as athletes, athletes have the power to change the world, to inspire, we speak in a language that people understand, that kind of stuff. Here we are planting trees, generating CO2 certificates. This one is, here, abuse in and of sports. Sellers of alcohol, drugs, gambling, rapists and so forth, they want to use us as athletes to sell their stuff. No way. So we're also doing a project on that. What else? That is everything about esports and e-games. So that is why researchers are so interested in working with athletes, because we push things to the extreme, and we are always interested in hooking up with technology if it can improve our our performance. And also here, for example, now the e-sporters, we transform e-gamers into e-sporters because we found out that many athletes, when they go to a sport athletes university, they started to not be so invested anymore in their what they came there to do, to become excellent athletes. And we saw that they were wasting a lot of time in their e-games, so we started to talk about that, and we said, what do you want to do? Maybe you have to talk again. Are you not so motivated anymore in the sports, or because this? Okay, you are still motivated, but then let's turn you into from an e-gamer into a real e-sport, because there's a lot of money to be made into. There's of course many young people who are into this, also addiction problems and so forth. So let's compare it to people who are driving the Formula One. You need Formula One drivers are also top athletes, so let's make that kind of a sports program. That would be nice and more in line with what I want to do now. Here, for example, we're restoring seabeds, and then from the CO2 that is being captured, we're allowed to generate CO2 certificates. That is everything about World Ocean Day and the World Ocean Decade in which we live now. Here, annex projects, for example, here during the COVID period, we have the European Institute for Innovation and Technology Transfer, and we said, we can transform the trailers for the horses to transport goods, for example. Here, rural pact. There is athletes, typical sports from in the rural areas. Langlauf, for example, in biathlon, kayaking, paragliding, mountain biking. I already say that. Mountain climbing and so forth. Rally racing. You name it. And so we as athletes, we bring, we also make the rural areas interesting, because we need people to go and live to stay in the rural areas, because that's where our food comes from. So there is also merging and being able to get money from there and from the Rural Pact, the Director General of Agriculture, for example. That is that. Let's have a look. I think I've covered most of it. I can close this one, and if everything is good, then I've covered everything. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Bye.